Okay, before I get started on work, I wanted to check out a new trailer that dropped today for Top Gun. I did a reaction to what was more like a teaser trailer earlier in the summer. We didn't really get a lot, just a little bit, enough to sort of kind of, tease you, which is exactly the point. And so I'm curious to check this out. I remember when I saw the other one that I hadn't seen or noticed Val Kilmer, and it was always my understanding that he was going to be in this movie, and I was kind of unsure how that was going to work because he didn't look to be in the best shape. I mean, maybe he's recovered. I mean, I'd heard that he's lost his voice or something's really bad wrong with his throat, and even if he's recovered, the videos that I've seen of him as of late, he doesn't look well. And so I wasn't sure if maybe he really didn't come back or not. And I'm wondering if he's going to show up in this trailer or not. Now, I'm not the hugest Top Gun fan, but I am curious about this because it's been so long since the first one. And I'm just wondering how they're going to be able to write this story in a way that pulls audiences in. It was a pretty big hit back when it came out, I remember. Take My Breath Away was all over the radio stations. I got so sick of that song. Anyway, I like the first movie. Okay, it's not one of my super high favorites or anything. It's not anything that I've ever been dying to see again, even though I have seen it at least a time or two since the very first time. But I'm definitely more interested about this new one coming up because I'm going to see how they handle the story of his character as he has, gotten older in the Navy. Navy, right? Yeah, Navy. So we'll see. Let's check it out. They do that.
Your instructor is one of the finest pilots this program has ever produced.
I wonder how much of that flying was real or digital.
Or legendary. What he has to teach you may very well mean the difference between life and death.
Oh, I recognize him. I couldn't remember if he was in the other one or not. Oh, Lord. That's some move.
Reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders.
Does he even know what an order is? He's such a rebel.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking. Today's exercise is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? Hey, you gotta be kidding.
Oh. Somebody dies. Okay, Maverick, you little show off. Okay, June 2020. I don't remember if I knew at the time that I saw the teaser trailer earlier this year if I knew that Jennifer Connelly was in it. At some point around that time, I found out. Maybe it was around the time of Comic-Con, because I think that little teaser dropped when Comic-Con was going on. And I had seen some sort of interview, and she was talking with some people, and they mentioned something about Top Gun. And I was surprised because I didn't know she was going to be it, because they had not shown her at all. And they show her a little in here, nothing of Val Kilmer. So I'm expecting he's probably not in it, despite everything I've read. Well, I haven't read stuff lately, but despite everything I had read leading up to the first teaser, he was supposed to be in it. Now, yeah, there's probably something I missed if he's not going to be in, in it. It's not like I went digging for information. These are things I just noticed, news articles or things on YouTube. I can tell by the headline sort of what's up. So he's not in here, and I'm wondering if he's going to be. I'm also wondering if he is going to be. It's probably going to be very limited, and possibly it looked like there was a funeral here. So I'm wondering if possibly it's his funeral. I'm speculating. I do that all the time when it comes to stuff like this, because I'm just trying to make sense of the things I've seen and answer questions I have. But this trailer was pretty good. I kind of felt like it felt a skosh longer to me than it needed to be. And I still don't have a real sense of what the storyline's going to be. He's an instructor, okay? He still has his rebel attitude, okay? But what's going on? Like, what's the theme? What's the synopsis? Because there's got to be something. There's obviously going to be something more than what we're just seeing here. Is it just? I mean, I don't know. You know what? It really seemed to me that the main point and plot of the first one, it almost felt like it was more about the romance than anything else. There was weren't there some skirmishes they had with like Russian bad guys or something in the air, but the main plot itself really just seemed to focus on his time there at wherever he was. It was in the academy. I don't remember wherever he was. It just seemed like it was just like a character drama about his time there, and he, was in love with his instructor, and then, they had a little fight. One of his friends died. They had a little fight in the air, and then it's over, So it was like there wasn't really, for me, maybe one of the reasons why I've never been super crazy about the movie is because there wasn't like this really strong, compelling plot line going on. And I'm wondering if there's going to be more of the same with this, or if we're going to have something a little bit more substantial feeling than we had in the first movie. I don't know. I'm not sure that this is going to be something that draws me to the theater. I kind of doubt it, even though I feel like a theater experience would be the most effective or fun way to consume this movie, just because of all the shots with the the planes and the landscape, and they're flying and all this, that would be if you're really into stuff like that, that would be a pretty cool experience. And I think that the big screen would capture that very well for people. But because this is not really a story that's like super, I'm super excited to see it. It's not like that for me. I just have sort of a passing, curiosity and interest in it. I will see it at some point, because I think I can't really say every Tom Cruise movie, but most of his movies I've seen, and I have liked a lot of his later films. Like I like a lot of his, I liked Collateral. That was awesome. I liked, oh shoot. What's the name of that movie he was in? Was it Oblivion? I can't remember if that's the right one. The one where he found out he was a clone. I love that movie. That might be one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. And then, of course, the one where his day was repeating. That was a really fun movie too. I like that. I like a lot of the films he's been in. But Top Gun, and especially some of his earlier movies, have never really been like my favorites. He was really big back then. He's still kind of big. I mean, Tom Cruise has remained relevant for decades. This guy, he looks like he hardly ages. I mean, obviously, if you look at him from back in the 80s to now, it's clear he has, but he looks fantastic for his age. And I know he's been a bit controversial because, he's got some some strange beliefs, and he's been a little sketchy about things, you know, I guess with regard to maybe his relationships, but he's grown on me. I wasn't a big, huge fan of his back when he was, you know, like back in the 80s, but he's grown on me over the years, and I don't know how much of it is just because I've liked his later films more than his earlier films. That might be it. Or how much of it is I don't know. I just kind of I kind of like him despite his quirkiness and his strangeness. And well, maybe part of it is also because he's pretty severely dyslexic. Well, he's claimed he's been cured from that, but you can't be cured from dyslexia. It is what it is. It's always with you. You always are dyslexic. And my son is dyslexic too. So I kind of, you know, sort of notice when other, you know, especially like, let's say more well-known people, they're dyslexic, and I kind of feel a little bit of a connection with them. Not, it's weird, but you know what I mean? Like you can kind of, oh, he's dyslexic and he had these issues. And my son, you know, is very similar to that. He's dyslexic and he has these things, you know, his mind works differently. And so I find it fascinating. Oh my God. Boy, was that Southern or what? Oh, that was terrible. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating. When I find out that there are other people that, you know, deal with that same sort of thing. I mean, I know there are, but when you find out someone is and you didn't know it before, it makes it a little bit more interesting, you know, to, you know, think about their experiences and everything. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But well, that was a really long tangent. I don't know what the heck, why I did that. And I can't say that it's because it's late, because it's not. It's in the afternoon. Anyway, so I guess I'll wrap this up. I don't have too much more to add other than, you know, the trailer was decent, if a little long. While it does spark interest in me, I'm really more curious to find out what is the plot really going to be. But I don't, as of now, have plans to go see it in the theater. I just really, I don't know. I doubt it. But I'll watch it at some point, and maybe we can talk about it whenever other people have been able to check it out. Okay, I'm going to wrap this one up, you guys. Bye.